that brings us, you all, to today. Because today, as a body, as I told you all before we got started, as a body, we're setting aside some time to set goals in 3 critical areas: as a disciple, as a servant, and as a giver. And we've been talking about this for a month. And over the last month, just to remind you guys, we invited you to engage in 21 days of prayer. We gave you a 21-day prayer guide. We gave you 21 podcasts to encourage you to pray. And every single week, I've been saying to you, pray, 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 right? And to connect with your family and to visit with one another and talk about what steps that you all would be taking in your discipleship, in your serving, and in your giving. And so today is the day that we put all of that effort into action. And so here's what I need everybody to do. And if you're a guest here today, go ahead and just play along, follow along with us. You'll understand a little bit better about how we handle this part of who we are as a church family. So everybody just take out that gold card. It's in the envelope that you see there. Just pull it out. Take a look at that gold card. It looks just like the one that's on the screen there. There's a place for your name. Go ahead and put that at the top. And then you see those 3 columns: discipleship, serve, give. Those 3 columns just like that. And what we're going to be asking you to do today is to set a goal in those 3 critical areas. So let's just think about them in turn, right? Think about that discipleship goal, right? Maybe you've never made a decision for Christ in your life. It's never happened. Y'all, everything begins at that single point, at the point of making a decision to accept Christ as your Lord and Savior. And if you've never made that decision, I can't think of a better outcome of this moment than for you to say, that's a decision I need to make. Maybe you've made a decision for Christ, but you've never followed Christ in baptism. There you go. There's another step that you ought to take right at the very beginning. And just say, you know what? That's going to be my step. I'm going to be baptized. We've encouraged you guys to make a commitment about how often you would worship. Remember that from a couple of weeks ago. And I told you all, hey, I'm a church junkie. My goal this year to worship 52 times, right? You know, every week. I'm just not going to miss, right? And some of y'all probably thought, overachiever, show off. I get it. I understand all that. It's okay. What's your goal? And I just encourage you to set a number. Think, hey, we're going to miss a couple of weeks for vacation. We're going to do this and that. There's my number. Set a goal. What's it going to be? Maybe it's to be in a T group. I mentioned those before. Or lead a T group if you've already been in one before. It's time for you to take that step and take a part in discipling other people. Maybe it's to host a conversation group in your home each week. We've got a lot of those launched now in our church, and the feedback that we're getting is just fabulous. Maybe that's what you want to be a part of. Whatever it is, just indicate your goal there on your card. Then look over at serving. What's that step for you? Maybe for you, it's, well, I've never really thought about serving before, so that first step for you would be to do what? Go to Team Celebration and fill out an application to serve. We require everybody who serves in our church has to go through a background check, and so that first step would be that. Maybe for you, it's like, man, I'm not ready to make any ongoing commitments, but I would serve at a special event, like today, for example. We've got volunteers who are going to be at bounce houses out there during the picnic. There's a way to serve right there, right? Maybe for you, it's more than that, and you want to serve every single week. We've got a lot of wonderful folks who serve every week. I don't know what we'd do without them. Maybe that's you. Maybe for you, it's to go overseas on a mission trip. The day will come when we travel again to places like Colombia and Ethiopia and India, and I can't wait for that day to return. This is a great time for you to think about it, begin to pray about it. Maybe that's your step. Maybe it's to become a volunteer member of our staff. You're just like, I'm in a season in life where I could give full-time energy and effort to serving the Lord, and that's what I want to do. Maybe that's your step. Then indicate it right there on your list. And then finally, what about as a giver? What step are you going to take this year as a giver? If you've never given before, ever, maybe your step is to make that first gift. And that would be a big step for you, an important step. Maybe you give occasionally, every now and then, but with no regularity. What an incredible step to someone to give with regularity and with consistency. So sign up for electronic giving, one of the best ways that you can give with great consistency. That'd be a huge step to take. Maybe it's tithing for you to give 10% of your income to use that biblical model. Maybe it's to go beyond. Maybe God's blessed you with an asset, and it's to share part of that asset with the ministry of your church. Whatever it might be, what's your step going to be? One's not any better than others. Just take a step that's going to challenge you so that you can look back at your life over the last 2 years, when we get 2 years from now, and say, I took steps to grow in my relationship with Christ, and I can see it. Okay? That's what we're calling on you to do today.